A common question we get asked is why we can't just sell our trade cars, the ones we don't particularly want to have in stock, sold as seen with no warranty to the general public. And we always say, no, we will only sell them to people in the trade, people that have a garage. And there's a number of reasons for that. First of all is for the sake of our sanity. It would be so stressful selling older cars, even if they're sold as seen to the general public. You constantly get people coming back saying, oh, look, I know there was no warranty on it, but Jesus, you didn't tell me it was burning that much oil, or you didn't tell me there was a knocking noise coming from the back in it, or it would just be an absolute disaster. Private customers, by their very nature, and obviously because they're just buying a car for themselves, they don't really have a concept as to what a trade purchase is. People in the motor trade understand that, obviously check out the car yourself, make sure it's okay, but in the grand scheme of things, sometimes you win some, you lose some. And the reason why you're getting it cheap is or getting it at a trade price is because it's not retail ready and there is a certain element of risk to it. So that's one reason. Second reason is, as we're a garage and the next customer is obviously a private customer, we as a business and people that are in the know in the motor trade have a certain duty or obligation to the customer. And if anything ever goes tits up or it goes to court or anything like that, the courts and the legal side of things will always side on the side of the customer. And even if we sell it to someone and it's sold as seen, there's a number of customer rights acts that have been brought into place in the last number of years, and we would still have a duty of obligation to the customer, even if we said it was sold as seen. So if you could sell someone to someone trade, it could still come back to bite you. Another reason then is just for your own reputation, you know what I mean? Even if I was selling cars willy-nilly up to customers for €1,000, let's say, for example, and even if they know they were buying sold as seen and the car broke down on them a week later, even though they would be sold as seen and they'd understand that, they'd be still telling their friends, no, I got it cheap off Paul O'Connor there, but sure, it looks was a bad joke. And all of a sudden, those standard of cars are mixed in with all the actual really good standard retail cars that I have in stock. And it would slightly dilute your name. We only sell good cars that we can stand over here and we can put a good warranty on. And if you were just selling off yokes willy-nilly and all bad jokes off to the general public, you mightn't think it, but it would certainly damage your name. We found that private customers, you can ask any garage this, they do not know the meaning of a trade sale or a sold as seen. And I don't honestly blame them either. People in the motor trade or people that buy and sell cars know how the game works. You buy some yokes and you might get one and you might do well out of it. You might buy another one and it turns out to be a bit of a bad joke, but that's the nature of the business. So for the sake of our sanity, for the sake of covering ourselves, I suppose, and for the sake of protecting our reputation, when we're selling off trade cars or older cars that we don't want here, we sell it to people in the same boat as us, people in the motor trade, and it really is, trade only then.